Yeah, physical blocker. It does the things that you need your tight end to do, being able to hold the point. Being on the front side, very athletic on the back side. Just able to do a lot of different things and be multiple. You can be multiple in your schemes with him in there, and so that's what makes Dallas. Obviously Dallas is very a big playmaker when the ball's in his hands. We saw that the return of him yesterday. But what makes him a complete tight end is his ability to block and all the different schemes that he can do. So that's big to get him back for both the run and the pass game.
We'll go to Chris and then Brooks.
Afternoon, Nick. And a lot of guys in the locker room said that they saw that the Packers are a different team than they were toward the end of the season as opposed to early in the season. As you guys are developing this game plan, what do you see that's different from from the Packers?
Yeah, still obviously early on in our stages of scouting them, but people, teams develop and teams, from game one to where we are now, 18. Everyone's a different team. Some teams have different players because of injuries. Schemes. You start to get used to what you're good at, what you're not good at. So everybody is in a different mode than they were, week one. Now, obviously, there's things that are staples that are good for have been good for them, that have been good for us, that remain the same. But there's a lot of changes and a lot of differences. I just see a really, at the end of the day though, I see a really well coached, fundamentally sound football team, and with a lot of really good football players. A lot of really solid football players on that roster. It's a really good football team that we're playing here on Sunday.
We'll go to Brooks and then Dave.
Kind of following up about that, they were the first to see your offense with Saquon. How much do you feel like they know who you are, and how much do you think towards Saquon that they're prepared for on the second go around?
Yeah, again, team's different from when we played, week one till now. A lot of things have changed. A lot of things, both teams. So I can't answer what they think there or how they think there. I know they'll be paying attention to Saquon like everybody else that we play pays attention to him. So again, got a lot of respect for how they've coached their defense. A lot of good guys out there. Number 52 is outstanding player. 93. They got players at number 7. They got players at every level. 25 is a playmaker. Xavier McKinney, obviously we know him well. Big time playmaker who can take the football away. Who's done a good job of that against us. And so they got some special guys on that, and I think they're really well coached.
We'll go to Dave and then Martin.
Hey Nick, with the way Tanner's played the last couple of weeks and with Kenny's injury, any thought to making Tanner the backup as you enter the playoffs?
I got a lot of confidence in both the guys. I think when Kenny's had to play, he's played really well. When Tanner's had to play, he's played really well. And so, we got a really good room. Obviously, Jalen had an outstanding season. So we just have a great room. Credit to Howie and his staff of getting these guys in here, and then just a great job by these guys and taking advantage of their opportunities, and great job by Kevin, Doug, helping these guys develop. And so we feel really, really good about the room of where we are.
We'll go to Martin and then John.
Hey Nick, a little bit along those lines. I mean, obviously you played a lot of backups, reserves yesterday and everything. Did any of them stand out? And in particular, like a guy like Jahan Dotson, who's been a third wide receiver this year, hasn't really gotten a lot of targets. Does a game like this help him going into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think anytime you build on your performances, and really we really pride ourselves in that we're going to get better from every performance that we have. Win, lose, play good, play bad. But yeah, I mean, anytime you go out and play a solid game and play well, it's going to give you some confidence to move on to the next one. And so Jahan played really good, really had played a really good game. Was good in and out of the breaks, caught the ball really clean, had some moments with the ball in his hands on yards after the catch. I think one thing that we've really enjoyed about Jahan is that he came in here and just fit right in with the rest of the guys, just playing tough and playing physical. He's scrappy out there, and he's been scrappy since the day he's got here. Even when he's not, he's affecting the game. Even when he's not touching the football, so it's good to see him get his hands on the ball yesterday and do the things that he could do yesterday. That was exciting to see, and I know we're going to need him to make plays throughout the postseason. And this will be a big game for all of us this weekend.
We'll go to John and then Ruben.
Afternoon, Nick. Now that you're past week 18, a lot of people say, hey, treat it like a preseason game, but you don't have 90 guys. So some got to rest, some had to dress, some had to play. Now that you're past it, how do you think the guys handled that, especially the ones that did have to play?
Yeah, I think they took advantage of their opportunity to play to get better. Again, you couldn't rest everybody. That's just the way. Again, like you said, you don't have 90 guys on the team to be able to do that. I thought Jordan Davis, went out and played one of his best games that he's had here as an Eagle. He was outstanding. I think there was a lot of guys that had really outstanding. Like Oren Burks had 17 tackles. I mean, that's incredible. Sidney made a huge play that sealed the game. Isaiah had a huge return. All those different things. We got a lot of contributions from a lot of different. I thought the offensive line played great. All those guys across the O-line, Jack Driscoll, DK, had some really good performances. And we know Tanner played a really solid game. And so you got a lot of performances from a lot of different guys, and as you see, the guys I named were a lot of different, some were backups, some are rotational players, some are starters, all those guys that I just mentioned. And so it took everybody's contribution, and everybody put everything they had into that game to get ourselves that win and to play to our standard of how we want to play football. So, Millen Williams played really good. Like, it was just a lot of different guys that have different roles on this football team that went out and busted their butts. I think that says a lot about our guys.
We'll go to Ruben and then Zach.
Hey, Nick. I was wondering if you could kind of outline some of the things Vic was able to do this year to turn the defense around with a lot of new pieces, a lot of guys who hadn't played before, rookies, guys at new positions, and it all came together pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think Vic he works his butt off and is constantly trying to find new ways to help his defensive scheme get better. And then I think he just does such a good job of holding everybody to accountable to how he wants it to look. He's got a great vision of how he wants it to look and how he sees it. He holds people accountable to that, and I think he calls a great game. I think he goes in there and he's got so much experience calling games. He's just got a great feel for it. And I love that, we talk about scheme, but then Vic's so obsessed too with the fundamentals of how you tackle, how you get off blocks. I love his tackling meeting on Saturday nights where he's going over all the, different ways that these guys run the football, how we're going to have to tackle the things that can present problems, and goes through all that detail there. Just a ton of experience and great detailed coach that has had a lot of success in this league, and obviously we've had a lot of success this year, and he's just done a great job of coaching these guys, coaching the coaches on our staff, and coaching the guys, and it's been a great group effort on that defensive side of the football.
Thank you.
We'll go to Zach and then Bo.
Hey, good afternoon, Nick. I'll ask the Jalen question today. As you put the game plan together, is it with the intention of Jalen as the starting quarterback this weekend?
Yeah, I have no new information for you guys. Like I said yesterday, he's progressing through the protocol.
Are you able to say if he's in the building today?
I got no new info for you guys here today. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Nick.
We have time for two more, so we'll go to Bo and then Olivia.
Hey, Nick, I'm just curious why you went to Braden on kickoffs yesterday after Jake the week prior.
Yeah, every situation calls for something different. And as you saw, Jake kicked off a couple as well. And so there's a lot of different factors that go into it. Haven't decided who was doing it, and in the playoffs against Green Bay. We'll see, and everything will be accounted for. I think at the end of the day, though, we have two guys that we feel are very capable. Obviously, don't ever want a penalty. I believe that was our only penalty of the day yesterday. I was kind of hoping we didn't have any penalties yesterday. But a lot of confidence in both guys, but we can't make that mistake of kicking it out of bounds there.
We'll end with Olivia here.
Hey, Nick, this is, of course, your fourth trip to the postseason with the Eagles as head coach. I'm curious, what, if anything, did you learn from your other 3 trips that you'll use to inform the way that you approach this upcoming postseason trip, whether, it's for things that you like that you did in the past or things that maybe you learned from that you didn't like as much?
Sure. I think after every situation you go through, you make notes and you try to go through what you did well, what you didn't do well. I think at the end of the day is the higher the stakes get, as we get into single elimination football, the more you got to stay committed to the things you've done on a daily basis to get 14 wins. I think that's been my biggest thing is like, all right, what can you do different here and now? And it's not even different, and it always comes back to what got you here, right? What got you here? What got you 14 wins? That doesn't mean you're not looking to improve on the things that you can do better at, which is exactly what we're doing and trying to shore up every single thing we possibly can. But what are the core things that got you to this situation? And when everybody's talking about, single elimination football, what happens this? Well, what happens in 3 weeks if you do this or that? Blah, 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 that we stay committed to completely what we're doing. It's what we've tried to do all year, and that's the point, right? Is what's gotten you to the number 2 seed in the NFC with the NFC East title? Stick to those principles. Tough, detailed together, and really, double, triple, quadruple down on those things.